This one is a bit lengthy, but it's also the most recent one, so I really felt like I needed to release this one, although it's also a little on the edge, I guess. So this one was on December 19th, 2021, and it was weird. I was like on, everyone on our planet was like beginning to, like, they're trying to leave the planet because some crazy weather thing had, like, weather phenomenon was happening, and like the atmosphere around us was like beginning to change, and like I was in this big huge house, and like just full of windows, and we were kind of on top of this mountain or this hill, so like we could see all of everything around us, and you know, you can see the weather changing kind of in the distance, and like I remember seeing, like, looking out the windows, like the weather, like, you know, just like the atmosphere around us had begun to change, and it was looking kind of like a storm was brewing, and like it was getting dark. It was looking a little scary, and then like all of a sudden these people were, you know, trying to, you know, like they just took off running, and like they were trying to flee, like get out of there, you know, like in mass amounts of people, like just huge amounts of people trying to leave, and it was one of those things where it's like, what's going on? And then like all of a sudden, like the house, or like the windows of the house, like started to, you know, kind of like not break, but they like started to shrink, and so like they would like get smaller and smaller, and like you could just like kind of feel the whole atmosphere like digging in deeper and like putting on pressure, and it was just like shrinking, and so it was so weird because let's see here. Yeah, all right. I'm so far off from where I'm trying to read, so I guess I'll just try to repeat it. That it was like as the windows were beginning to shrink, then like I looked outside the window and I saw like the different trees, like all of a sudden they just like went through all of the different seasons, like in a flash of a second, you know, like you know, you can like kind of see a tree that's like their leaves look like a certain way when they're in the fall, and then their leaves look a certain way in the spring, and then there was snow on it, and then it was like dead. And so it like flashed through all of these seasons really quickly, and then all of a sudden it just kind of like it looked like it got the life sucked out of it, kind of thing, like it like a vacuumed its life out of it. And like that was like why the seasons were changing, is it like went from alive to like slowly dying, and then just like got the life sucked out of it. And so it was weird because it was like I knew that as the windows were like beginning to shrink, that like you know, like the atmosphere was like sucking the life, you know, and like that was what was happening, is the atmosphere was changing. It was like sucking the life out of our planet, and like sucking the life out of the people, and like somehow I just knew that in the dream that like it was like our true atmosphere, you know, like around our earth had like changed somehow, and like it was letting in some kind of gas, or like some kind of gas couldn't get out, and so like we couldn't breathe the air, like the air was changing, like we went from just being able to breathe like this normal oxygen, you know, normal air, to like as this shrinking was happening and the sucking was happening, it was like sucking all of the like oxygen, or like all of the air out, and so like things, you know, were beginning to die, and like having the life sucked out of them, because the atmospheric pressure was like changing, and it was like kind of crazy. And so like the people that I was in the house with were like, they just happened to be some people that are like in the music industry, I guess, and there was another random lady there that was with us, and I guess she knew something that I didn't, and she had said like right away, like, oh, I know what's going on, like I have a plan, you know, I know how we're going to survive it, or like I know how we're going to make it through this kind of thing. And so she had said like, here, follow me into like this other room, and like there were these like little beds, you know, areas, whatever, and she was like, here, if you lay down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like transfer your consciousness like into like this other world. I'm going to like take what makes you you, like take your consciousness and like through this line, you know, kind of thing, and then like transfer it out of you and put it in like this online world kind of thing, like a video game is kind of what I was picturing. But that world would only work if your body was like still alive, because like it wasn't actually your real world. It was just the world that like you could, kind of like go into. And she had said like, I know this will work because like as soon as I like transfer your consciousness, like your body will like reduce how much like air it needs, and all these scientific things of like pretty much it will like lower your heart rate and your blood pressure and all of these things to a level that like you will be able to survive with the new atmospheric pressure that was like changing around you, or like changing around us. Because like our body would pretty much be like asleep, but like it would still be alive, and so it was actually going to be able to like survive in this new atmosphere. But then like our consciousness was like still alive and well, and it's like in this new world kind of thing. And so like that's what she had said. She like gathered us all together and was like, gonna set us up on this thing so like we could like transfer our consciousness so that like we could survive, so that like our bodies could survive here, but like then our minds would also, or our consciousness would still be able to be alive as well. So yeah, I feel like that was most of it, other than like just kind of the smell of like the pressure, like it smelled like a storm. I don't know, it's hard to explain. So super crazy, kind of weird dream. Had that on the 19th of December, and didn't really know what to think about it. Thought it was, an intriguing dream, but didn't really understand much about it. And then as soon as like the new year came around on the 1st of January, I felt like the Lord like really brought this back to my mind, and was like, let's like, he downloaded like, you're gonna see like this whole page that he like gave me all of this information on what this dream meant almost a month later. And so, I guess, and then the last thing is like the music people that I was in the room with ended up like it kind of in a separate dream, but like I knew it was connected. Then like they ended up like releasing a gospel album, even though they were not Christian. They are not in the Christian realm of music, or gospel realm of music. They're kind of their own band singing alternate music. But I remember thinking like, oh, that's really weird. Like, why did they just release a gospel song, or like a gospel album? So that was interesting, I guess. So anyways, I guess when the Lord brought this all back around to me in January, he told me like specifically that, that like the band, the group music people, however you want to describe them, then like being what they represented in the dream was like the music industry, but also the entertainment industry, because like they're pretty much the same thing. Like music and entertainment, pretty much the same thing. And there was at one point in the dream where like I was interacting with these members, and one of them was a little open in their sexuality, I guess. And so the Lord was saying like that what I was experiencing is like the hunger of lust that this industry has, and that is what they have been producing, and what they continue to produce, and that it's the music industry, or the entertainment industry is just really based off of lust. And there was, like each one of the band members, kind of represented something, and another band member had been like this really funny, easygoing kind of person, making me laugh and all these things. And so that person represented, how easily the industry just shrugs off that, like, it's no big deal that they're lustful, and that they're power hungry, like that their desires are impure, and that they really don't align with God's word. And that I feel like what God was saying is like, yeah, the desires are impure, they don't align with my word, and it was never God's intention for the entertainment industry to look like that. He's like, I want my children to find love and empowerment through the art of entertainment. I do not want them to find lust and power. So for me, I felt like that was really important. Like, God wants us, he's not saying like the entertainment industry or the music industry is bad or like sinful, but it's what they are portraying. It is what they are giving out, I guess. And he wants his children to find love and empowerment through these areas. And right now, what we are finding is lust and power, and that came through clearly with each one of those band members. And then he said, the storm that you could feel brewing and could sense was coming was indeed changing of the atmosphere. Like the atmosphere was truly changing. And so like in the real world, I guess this is him explaining, like there is a surge coming, one that cannot be tamed, and it will not die down. It is coming with one sole purpose, and that is to wipe out and annihilate what we have come to know as the entertainment industry. The storm is not like one you've seen before. Just like in the dream, as I was sensing the storm coming, it didn't make any sense at all. Rather than blowing winds, it was sucking winds. Rather than a tornado, it was like a big vacuum, and it sucked everything up and shrunk shrunk everything. It sucked the life out of everything in its path. And he's saying, like, the same is true for the storm that is headed towards the entertainment industry. It is internal. Right now, I am causing a stirring within the industry itself as I am removing people. Just look at the I don't even know if I want to say that. I guess pay attention to public figures in the entertainment industry, and their deaths, and what is that a coincidence or not? He's saying, like, there will be more, and you will notice more public figures being taken down in the coming days. You will be shocked by who you see and the mess that they find themselves wrapped up in. The time has come for the playing fields to be leveled, and for my church and my remnant and my faithful sons and daughters who love me to be raised up so that they can glorify my name rather than the names of the public figures that you have been seeing and hearing about for so long. The storm coming to the music industry is a bit of a different storm compared to the one coming for like the big office, like movie theater kind of companies. The music industry, so I feel like that's kind of why he was talking about like the band members were for music, is they will be spared, but everything else will be completely rewritten. I like the word that he said there, like it will be rewritten. I will need new actors and actresses who have fully submitted themselves to me. I will need new singers and songwriters who will sing for me. I will need new authors and publishers who will write for me. I will need new performers who will perform for me. I am rewriting the stars of Hollywood. I'm like, wow, God, like that's so good. That's so good. And I didn't write it down there, but he kind of gave me later that the rewriting of the stars of Hollywood is, you know, the star plaques that they like put on the sidewalk or in the cement. I don't really know how it works, but you know, like all of the celebrities get their own star. I feel like that's what God's saying, is like he's rewriting the stars of Hollywood. Who he has deemed as the stars of Hollywood are going to look different, and they're going to be his children. He's going to start raising up his sons and daughters who have fully submitted to him, and you're going to start to see them come out more and more in the entertainment industry, in the music industry, and like that is like the atmosphere that is changing, is he's rewriting what it looks like to be a celebrity, because right now I feel like there's just so much lustful, almost idolatry over these people, or people, not God, and like he's rewriting that. Like he is a jealous God. We are not to serve other idols. We are not to have idolatry in our heart. And so like he is rewriting what that looks like. And the people that will be in the spotlight, he will turn the spotlight to them, and the people that will be in the spotlight will be the ones that give him the glory, will be the ones that draw people closer to Jesus rather than further away from him. Yeah, so I feel like he said the storm will suck the life out of the movie industry, just like the sucking winds in the dream. And the truth will be exposing the rest of the entertainment industry, and that's when you'll see people start to run. Like I started to see them in the dream, people were just running and scattering everywhere. He's like, you will see people from all over the entertainment industry start running, and that's when you'll know that the time is close. He's like, I've been preparing the way for my children for a while now, though you didn't know it. When you begin to see people running and the industry lose its fandom, and there is mass chaos in the streets of Hollywood and LA, then you will know that I am not far behind in pushing my children towards the spotlight. So he's like, if this resonates with you, what he's telling you, like, continue to push forward in doing what I've called you to do. Since you are working for me and living for me, and you are rooted in my love, you will be safe from all of this. Even if when it looks bad, you can rest easy and remain in my peace, knowing that you will be safe. Because I know in my heart I was getting, if I'm, having this call towards this industry, then like why in the world would God be leading me into like a trap? That's what it's been feeling like. And He's saying like, no, I'm rewriting it. It's gonna look different. It's gonna feel different. I'm not leading you into a trap. So continue working where He's been telling you to work, and it's He's gonna bring you into a world that will work for you. Um, Yeah, I will. God's saying, like, I will save you from the dangers and the darkness that the prior world has lived in, but I will also help you find and discover yourself as well. So it's kind of like on the self-discovery process as well, as you're working through getting to know who you are and what you are and the gifts that God is calling you. Like it's leading you towards that industry, and like it's okay. It's okay if that's what you're feeling. This draw or this call towards this industry, because right now it looks bad, and it doesn't look like it's something we would want to be a part of. But He's rewriting it, and as He's rewriting it, He's going to want you. He's going to need you to help Him rebuild what this looks like. And so that's what He was saying, is like the part about the alternate world where this lady said that she could transfer our consciousnesses into this, like, I don't know, this other world, is about rebuilding the industry. But as He's rebuilding it this time, He's going to build it His own way. He's going to build it like God's way, firm foundation. He's saying, like, we will be spared the fate of the rest of Hollywood and the entertainment industry, but He will need our help rebuilding it. Just like the people running in the dream, they were outside and couldn't outrun their fate. They couldn't outrun it. They could never escape what they had done. But inside the building, I had felt calm and safe, even though I knew, like, the world was ending, and it was, like, dangerously close to me. But I knew that, like, I would be able to survive in this new world that this lady had created. And so He said, along with many of my other children, we will rebuild the entertainment world, and it will save all of you as well. In the process of rebuilding this new world, you will find yourself, discover yourself in new ways, and from there you will be able to help many other people find themselves as well. The last part I feel like He threw in there, with this gospel album from this music band that hasn't really like been in the Christian music industry. He was saying it is foreshadowing of what the new industry will look like. My children's love for me will be on public display for all to see. There might be some familiar old faces who have changed their ways, and they may be able to come back into the industry, and you'll see them with gospel albums and a new love for me. You will also see the music industry explode with gospel albums and people singing my praises far and wide. People you never would have thought would love me will be proclaiming their love for me in a public way. The music industry will set the tune for the new entertainment industry, and it will be with my praises being sung at the forefront of it. So I just feel like that's a really weighty word, and it's so timely for myself as well. So I'm wondering if it is for someone else as well, that God is rewriting what the entertainment industry looks like. And if you are feeling a call towards that you can know that He's not going to throw you in the fire. He's in the process of reworking it and rewriting it, and but to be ready and to be prepared and to continue working where He's calling you to work, because at the moment He has deemed it. He's going to need you. He's going to need all of His children that He is raising up to be able to rebuild this, and to bring His creativity to the earth. And I really feel like that's what the Lord's talking about, is like, God is so creative. He is so imaginative, and I mean, He created the world. He created us. He created animals. He created nature. I mean, like, He is just He's got to be the most creative being that you could experience. And so we don't need the kind of industry that we have right now. We're not going to be losing out on that, because He's going to replace it. He's going to rebuild it with His creativity, with His insight, with His ideas that He has given to His children in this time period. And we're going to be the ones that are building it up. We're going to be the ones that are creating this, and that yeah, that it's going to be okay. The feeling I'm getting is like it's gonna be a little scary and it's gonna be a little messy and things are going to happen. And to know that those things are happening because God is a God of justice. He is a just God. He 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 is angered. Like, I think we forget that. Like, he is easily angered when he sees his children being manipulated and used as pawns from the devil. Um, and I think I feel like this is him saying he's had enough and he's done with it. And it's time to take back what is God's and what he will always intended for this industry to look like. Um, Unfortunately, just kind of got pushed away over the course of these years, however long it's been. And I feel like God's saying, "I'm taking it back for me," and it's his time. So I guess that's all for now. I hope that you found some of these dreams encouraging. I pray that you yourself have more than the ability to ask for dreams from the Lord, and that he loves to, share his insight with you in all of these different ways, through words, through feelings, through dreams, through hearing his voice, through, all of our senses. Like, the Lord gave them to us so he can speak to us. So I would just encourage you that if there's, if there's something that that you want to hear from the Lord, be open to him giving it to you in any of those ways. Maybe it's through your sight, maybe it's a vision, maybe it's something you're feeling in your body, maybe it's something you're hearing. He can use songs, he can use movies, he can use anything that he wants to, and just to be open to that and to be susceptible to it. That he's a good God, and he loves his children, and he wants to be with you. He wants to communicate with you. And so I guess I pray that you would hear God's heart in all of this, and that if I pray that you would take each one of these words to the Lord, and that he would, further clarify it for you, and give you your own insight and your own wisdom and discernment on what these things could be for you. And again, I guess just thank you for joining me and being a part of this journey with me as I, continue to branch out and continue to share what the Lord has. And I pray that it blesses each and every one of you. And above all, I really pray that it would bring you closer to Jesus, and that you would find your own personal relationship with him, and what that looks like for you. And that we just get to go out into the world and love everybody, and just be expectant of what the Lord is about to do. Be blessed.